Good morning. We are live. Good morning. Oh my gosh, what a day this this storm. I look a bit dishevelled because I've just been running around my garden trying to save garden furniture. Because it was flying everywhere. One minute the trampoline nearly went over the fence, then the egg chair was like sliding along, and then I looked out and got this sofa and that was moving. Oh my gosh. And then the new puppy was trying to get outside. I was like, no, you'll blow away because he's so tiny. And then I've also got my little girl off school with tonsillitis. So it's just a bit crazy. But I hope everybody is okay, that you're all staying safe and warm. Stay indoors today. If you don't have to go out, don't go out, because it's a bit grim. So yeah, stay indoors. And I've just realised I haven't made my brew, which is not ideal, but never mind, we will crack on. I have got a drink, I've got my drink of water, so we're fine. So thank you for joining me again today. Today we're going to be talking about quite a big topic about staying visible, and staying visible particularly online for our businesses. Now, I know that word visibility can feel a bit overwhelming. There are so many platforms, so many techniques, so many strategies, so many shiny new trends pulling us in all different directions. I mean, even just last weekend, Instagram decided to change loads of things and just confuse us all again, which is really fun. But don't worry, I'm going to break it down into manageable steps and actionable tips to try and unpick it all and make it a lot easier for you, and help you then try and decide what is right for your business and what are the best steps that you can take to make your business more visible. So getting visible online doesn't mean doing all the things. It's about finding that right mix of things, the right mix of strategies and marketing tactics that align with your business goals and the resources that you have. So we're going to explore some key areas that you could focus on this year for making your business more visible. So, okay, when we talk about being online, digital marketing, the first thing that everybody thinks of is social media. And don't get me wrong, I am a massive fan of social media. It's not going anywhere, is it? And it's a great tool for making your business visible. It's the most obvious way to make your to get visible online. But in 2025, it's not just about posting organically and hoping for the best. It's about thinking creatively. Oh my gosh, can't get my words out. Creatively. Oh my gosh. Creatively. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? It is about thinking creatively and strategically. There, got my words out. Oh my gosh. I mean, social media has changed so much over the years. And I remember where you could just do a post every now and then and it would get seen by everybody, and there'd be loads of comments, and like everyone would see it, and it is just a different ball game these days. So here are a few ideas that could level up your social media and your social media visibility, basically. So big trend for this year, which I've talked about in a couple of podcasts, is social commerce. So if you have a product, or a service that you can sell online. You can host live shopping events. I think this is really cool if you're like a maker, a producer, you sell. I mean, you've probably all seen it, or maybe just me because I love clothes. But when I have a girl stood in a warehouse, she's like, "All right, I'm going to try this one on now. Oh, now Rebecca's going to go and try this one on," and they're like modelling the clothes for you, and then you can go online and buy them at the same time. That is the idea of social commerce. But you can even do like a question and answer session, like going live and answering people's questions, and engaging your audience in real time. So like what I do here at my Facebook Lives is not social commerce, but if I was selling something, you could do something like this on your Facebook page or Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, and do like that live question and answer type session as well. So thinking about doing events online and that social commerce space. Short form video, as we've talked about, is not going anywhere either, and platforms like Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts are still dominating. So creating those quick, value-packed videos that grab attention and share your messages. Now, one of the key things that we're sort of seeing in social media is that it's about entertainment, not necessarily education all the time, but then people do have a thirst for knowledge and want to learn as well. And one of the changes Instagram made this last week was increasing the length of a reel to 3 minutes. So that's better if you want to do some kind of tutorial or wanting to give those added value educational pieces. That's where that can work really well. So look at, even go and have a look at some of your competitors, other people in the industry. What kind of video content are they creating? Are they doing like behind the scenes, tips, frequently asked questions, voiceovers? Like, what is it that they're doing to grab their audience's attention, and just seeing how that you can mold that and make that work for your business. A lot of success online quite often now comes not from the number of followers we have, but from the engagement we get. So there are little tools that we can use to increase that engagement, such as polls. Like you could do something random that's related to your day, something like about the weather today because we're in the middle of a storm, or who's lost a trampoline yet, yes or no, that kind of thing, and getting people to engage with you and ask you answer a question that you set. You can do little quizzes online, you can get people to ask you questions, you can have interactive stickers. There are loads more things that you can do in stories, particularly on Instagram now at the moment, where you can get people talking, get that engagement. The more engagement that you have, and the more visible then that your content becomes. You can even add polls to reels now, and when you're writing your caption, just check at the bottom, you can get a little vote going as well. So those kind of things where you're asking somebody, clicking on a link, doing something to engage with your story, can really increase your reach and engagement. Building a community is a massive trend for 2025, and I think I spoke about this before, but they're seeing a bit of a resurgence with like a good old fashioned pub, where a lot of young people that are just starting to go out or in the 20s are actually going back to that old type of pub, because we spend so much time on these that they're not having that social engagement that we had when we were younger. Well, you might be really young listening to this, watching this. So, but that kind of, people are becoming, what's the word? I want to say disheartened, but that's maybe not the right word, but maybe disillusioned with just social media all the time, and understanding that not everything that we see is real. A lot of clickbait, AI. How do we know that it's real? So people want to feel that sense of community. That's why I've got this Facebook group that's still running, and just your general community online. So Facebook groups are a really good way of doing that. There's also things like Substack. You can create little broadcast channels on WhatsApp or on Instagram as well. So where your followers can connect with each other, can connect with you on a deeper level in a way. I do this in particular with my Acorn Marketing Academy, which is my mentoring program, where people feel part of that community. They can share ideas, they can talk to each other. People want something a bit more real and a bit more tangible these days. So groups encourage that deeper engagement with your audience and that brand loyalty as well. So there are a few key things that you can try thinking outside the box with social media. It's not just about posting things these days. There's a lot more to it now. Okay. Number 2, I feel like I've been banging on about this for so long now. Email marketing. One of the most reliable and effective ways to get visible online. If you've been listening to my podcast, you know that I'm a huge fan of email marketing. If you subscribe to my e-newsletter, it will have just landed in your inbox about 10 minutes ago. If you're not on my e-newsletter list, you need to go on my website and subscribe, or drop me a DM and I will add you to it. But we want to start by building our email list with a strong lead magnet. So a lead magnet is something that gives people value. It can be a downloadable PDF of recipes, top tips, templates. It could be a quiz. It could be money off discounts. Something that's gonna, like the word lead magnet, it's gonna magnetize your leads. It's going to encourage more people to sign up. So think about how you could maybe do that for your business. And it's possible to think about how we can create a lead magnet for all different types of businesses. So we really need to start by building that list, getting our lead magnet out, sharing it everywhere, on our email signature, on our social media. Put it out there, pepper it around, so you can get lots of people subscribing, downloading that valuable content that you're giving them, and getting them to subscribe to your email list. So it's all about starting small. Again, it's like social media. We don't need to have thousands and thousands of people subscribe to our e-newsletter. You can start with even just 20 people on your e-newsletter. 1 to 5% of people will buy from you on your email, which is so much more powerful than social media. So start by thinking how you can build that email list. Now, word of warning again with email on GDPR, so our the law that protects our privacy when it comes to marketing. We can't just go online and get somebody's email address and put it on our email list. We can't just go through our email address book and put people on our email list. We can if they have made a purchase from us, if you have an online shop and somebody's bought something online, or like me, you work B2B, you have clients, customers, you are entering into a contract. When somebody buys something off you, they have a reasonable expectation that you will contact them. So they are okay to put on your email list, not just random people. So think about how you can start building that email list. Once they're on your list, you need to nurture those relationships with consistent, valuable emails. Sending them out. Listen to my last podcast because that goes into more depth. But remember that your email is not subject to the algorithms, or if TikTok does disappear, it's a direct line to your audience. So really making the most of it is so valuable. Okay, the third thing that I want to talk about in terms of getting our business more visible online is about the power of search. Google, we all love Google really, don't we? Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, whatever you use, but the biggest one is Google. So if you're not using Google to your advantage, you are missing out on a huge opportunity to get visible. A few different ways that we can use Google to get visible to promote our business. Number one, Google business profiles. So if you go on Google, search business name, quite often a little profile comes up the side with their some pictures, their opening hours, business details, all that kind of thing. That's their Google business profile. You need to make sure that you have a Google business profile. You also need to make sure that that business profile, you drop a little pin on a map to say where your business is. Now, mine's a bit funny because it was really funny for a client the other day. I was printing out some maps and they were like, oh, look, there's your business. Have you got new offices? But it was my accountant's office because my registered business address is at my accountant's office, not my home address, because I did once get a stalker who started sending things to my home address. It was a little bit freaky, so I was like, oh, take that off everywhere. So, but if you have a physical business, you can drop that pin in a Google map as well. So making sure that you keep that up to date with pictures, not just that you save on your computer as JPEG 123, pictures that have like got your business name in them. So again, all these words are searchable on Google, so if anybody's looking for you, maybe add some posts on there, accurate contact information. This is key to your local business visibility. If anybody is searching you for a business like yours locally, that is one of the top things that you can do to be seen, is making sure you have a Google business listing. Another thing you can do, excuse me, something that I did with one of my mentees actually was about Google reviews. So she wasn't coming up anywhere on Google, her business. And I said, why don't you just try over the next couple of weeks getting people to leave you positive Google reviews? And she put her head down for a few weeks. She started getting lots of Google reviews. And literally, just by doing that, got her to page 1 of Google. That's insane, isn't it? Oh my God. We were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So making sure you get those positive reviews, they not only build trust with people that are trying to find out information about you, but they also help you rank higher in those search results. So don't be afraid to ask your customers to leave you a review. The more reviews you get, the better. Of course you want 5 stars, but yeah, the more you get, the better. And the other thing to think about when it comes to visible and being really visible on Google is getting your business listed on other websites. So we call it, in directories. There used to be the good old yell.com, but there'll be others, for your specific industry. There might be free listings websites, different online directories where you can be listed, and also work on getting backlinks to your website. So this, can you hear the puppy? Oh my gosh. I have a child downstairs who is sick, but she's not going to come and rescue the puppy, is she? No. He's going to sit outside my door and cry. Let me bring him in. Come on. Right. Here. Look. Look, it's a little puppy. Okay, let's carry on. So, if we're getting our website listed on other websites, that's called creating backlinks. So it might be, say if you work with suppliers or you're a visitor attraction and getting your website listed on accommodation providers' websites, think about where you could get your website put and then creating a backlink. Now, don't just go for any dodgy website, because bad websites, that can then penalise your website. So make sure it's a good, reputable business that you're being listed on. So getting on those directories and backlinks can really help too. Okay, the next thing I want you to think about is your website, if you have one. Not everybody has a website. A lot of people rely on social media, which I think that's a whole other podcast topic, because there's a danger in that of just relying on social media for your marketing. Oh, gives me shivers just thinking about it. If all the social media platforms disappeared tomorrow and you were left with no visibility online, oh my gosh, it makes me feel funny just thinking about it. Oh god, that's why I'm a weird marketing person. Anyway, enough about me being weird. So your website is the cornerstone of your online presence. It's where people go to learn more about you, your products and your services. So to get visible on your website, have a think about these following things. So we've talked about Google and getting found on Google, but how do we get our website found on Google? Now that's through something called search engine optimization. Or SEO, you might have heard people saying SEO. So thinking about what people type into Google, what words and phrases are they going to put into Google to find you, to find the services or the products that you offer. Now you can use a handy tool called Google Keyword Finder, or Google, oh my god, what is wrong with me today? Google Keyword Planner, and you can put in like your website address and some suggested keywords that you think people are looking for, and it will give you suggestions of keywords that you can use on your website. So have a think about those phrases and the things that people are going to be typing in line into Google to find you. Now you want to pepper those words through your website. Now it might feel a bit funny saying, oh, you know, something like Lisa Jackson, marketing consultant from Acorn Marketing, Cumbria. You know, putting odd words in, it might feel a bit strange, but nobody's going to read it and think, oh, that sounds weird. We just want to get those keywords strategically through our content, making sure we have something on our website called meta descriptions, so all the pages have got the right descriptions, the titles of the pages are all optimized with all those types of keywords that people are looking for, and that will give your website more of a fighting chance of being seen online. And you know, I am not an SEO expert, but there are the basics is easy done yourself. So thinking about those types of words. Now, another really valuable thing that we can do on our website, because quite often we'll do a website and then we just leave it to do its job, just to like sit there, but actually it's probably one of the most expensive marketing tools that we sometimes use. So why would we just want it to sit there and do nothing? Like, we constantly need to be updating it and refining it, making sure that it's right. But by having a news or a blog section on your website is such a powerful tool, because you can add in those keywords. You can start typing a phrase into Google like how do I plan my marketing, and underneath it would come up with everything that people are typing into Google. So have a look, what are the questions that people are asking, what do they want to know about, because they're some of the things that you can be writing blogs about that then can be optimized, that people will be able to find through Google to find your website, to find you and your amazing products and services. Oh yes. So it is a great way to drive traffic to your website. So answer the questions that your audience is seeking, share tips, provide value, give that information that they want to know, which can help drive traffic to your website. So, the other thing there as well that I was just said, I mentioned it for Google, but making sure any images that you upload to your website as well, use those keywords. They're not just labelled JPEG123, that they have some of the keywords in, and when you upload them from your computer to your website, again, those images can be found in Google Images. Somebody clicks on them, it brings them to your website. So that's really important too. So digital Next thing is digital advertising. So let's think beyond social media. Digital advertising is one of the quickest ways to increase your visibility. But we don't want to just limit ourselves to Facebook or Instagram ads. There are so many platforms and opportunities online where we could advertise. So if we have a bit of budget, and I have done some really successful campaigns with clients for like £5 a day for a week, and we've got results, which has been fantastic. And you know, we can use those ads. We can do Facebook ads, which are really great. We can do Instagram ads, which are brilliant. We can even advertise on LinkedIn. We can advertise on TikTok. All these social media channels. There I go again. Plannels. Oh God. Maybe it's because I've not had my cup of tea this morning yet. Maybe that's why I keep speaking in tongue twisters, getting my words wrong. So let's think about some other places that we could potentially advertise online. In 2024, I started running some Google ads for a client, and oh my goodness, the results for that client have been insane. And again, £5 a day ad spend. I think maybe over the last 12 months we've spent about £2,000 in advertising revenue, and the return has been 20k plus, which is crazy. So, but what an amazing return on investment. So Google ads, think about, you know, when you'll know yourself when you put in something into a search and sponsored ads come at the top. That's what we're looking at there. But we can also do something called a Power Max campaign, where it not only gets seen in the search, but if somebody's looking on YouTube, if somebody's looking on different websites, you know how those adverts like follow you around? They can be in all these places as well. So it can go across the board, all over the Google platforms can your ads be seen. YouTube adverts as well. So you can create video ads that play before YouTube adverts. That's another great way to do it. Something I'm looking at doing with a client is doing some advertising on ITV. So, you know, if you're watching like Netflix or ITV on demand on your iPad or something and adverts come up, I'm looking at doing that with a client, and it's something like £35 per 1,000 impressions. So that's 1,000 people seeing your advert for £35. Now, recently placed a print advert for a client, and it was £500 for like 2 weeks to be seen. So £35 for 1,000 impressions is pretty good, and that's ITV. So I'm exploring that at the moment as well. Can maybe share some more information on that in the future. And also, if your audience likes music, you could even consider doing adverts on Spotify. So there's all sorts of different places that we can do our digital advertising. You might even want to think about doing some sponsored content. So quite often now newspapers are having to get savvy. They always bombard you for like print advertising, but quite a lot of them now do digital adverts as well. So locally we have something called Cumbria Crack. You can pay to get a post on their social media page, or you can pay for an advert on their social media or on their website. Something they have like your artwork around, like a banner ad at the top, or you could create an article that could be a sponsored content article as well. So there are lots of ways that you can work with the media and your local news publications to do this kind of advertising too. So the key with advertising is to know your audience, because a lot of these campaigns can be really tailored and targeted. So think about age, demographics, gender, geolocation, that kind of thing, because you can be so targeted. So if you know your audience really well, you will know exactly who to target. So much more effective than a print advert. and completely different to being on Facebook as well. So your adverts on Facebook and Instagram will only be shown in that platform, but if we jump out and we go to Google Ads, for example, they could be all over different websites. So other ways that you might want to consider getting visible online, a few additional things that you can do to boost your visibility include collaborations. So maybe partnering with a similar complementary business to yours. Maybe you want to partner with some influencers to reach a new audience as well. Podcasts are a brilliant way to get visible. So if you want to be a guest on a podcast, you can pitch yourselves to podcasts, tell them what you're going to talk about. And there's even agencies. One of my good friends, Victoria, she runs an agency that pitches people in to get on podcasts. So that might be something you want to do. You could start your own, like me. It's like, I've found that it's dead simple. It's just time, isn't it, to do these things. And it's not right for everybody, I have to say that. But podcasts are a fantastic way to showcase your expertise and connect with somebody else's audience to get them into your space. Online communities. So having a look at them different Facebook groups. Are there any online forums, LinkedIn groups, or any other online niche platforms that you can join where your target audience is really active? I know when I was first building my Facebook group, I spent time in lots of other groups to tell people who I was, then they would look for me and then end up coming into my group. And maybe webinars and workshops as well, whether that's on a Zoom meeting, or out and about locally, offering your services to people, going talking in front of groups. Perfect example of this, I went down to York last year to do a talk about marketing conservation at a wildlife park, and then this January I have had an inquiry from one of the conservation projects that was at that talk. So putting yourself out there, doing talks and things at different meetings and networking events can prove really beneficial as well. So there you have it. Oh, I feel like I've talked a bit longer than normal today. Those are the key areas to focus on to get your business more visible online in 2025. Remember, again, it's not about doing everything or anything or jumping on those trends. Pick the strategies that make the most sense for your business and do them well. Visibility is about consistency, and one of the biggest patterns that I've seen for businesses is they're just not consistent with their marketing. So you have to be consistent with all of this. Think outside the box, be creative, connect with your audience, whether that is through social, I'm doing it again, through social media, through email, Google, or advertising. There is no shortage of ways to make an impact and make your business more visible. There we go. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening again. If you watch the Facebook Live, if you listen to this podcast and you make it this far, I would really, really appreciate it if you just drop me a little DM to let me know that you've listened, because you can see the stats and stuff. You can see how many people watch, how many people listen, but it'd be really, really nice for somebody to drop me a line and go, hey, I listened and I enjoyed it. I got this from it, or actually I think you missed this. It'd be really, really interesting to know who makes it this far and who listens this far. But anyway, okay. I am going to shoot off now. Oh, it looks like it's snowing outside now too. No, snow's not forecast. It can't be. Bizarre. I'm going to go brave the storm, and I shall be back, hopefully, if I brave the storm. I should be back next week with some more marketing tips for you all. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.